So I've been thinking about starting this for a while now. Not in a dramatic way or anything like that. Just knowing that if I didn't sit down and actually record something, I'd keep everything in my head and never properly commit to it. So this is me finally starting. My name's Tyler. I'm 21 years old and I've lived in Cambridgeshire my whole life. I grew up pretty normally, not rich, not poor, just kind of got by. We were never struggling badly, but there was never loads either. It was just enough to hold on and keep things moving. Growing up, I never really understood myself that well. I didn't know what I wanted to be or where I was heading, and I didn't really have any role models or anyone I looked up to in that sense. There was never really a clear example of a life that I wanted to build. So I think I just did what a lot of people do and followed the path that was in front of me. I mean, currently, right now, I do live with my fiance. We've been together for 2 years and we've got our own place. That side of my life is very solid and I'm very grateful for it. It gives me stability and something real to come home to. For work, I have a factory job. I earn about £2,130 a month, and every other fortnight I work night shifts. Nights can be pretty draining. You know, your sleep's off, your energy's low, but I'm not gonna sit here and complain about it. It pays the bills, it keeps life going, and for a lot of people, that's enough. But I just know I don't want this to be the only thing I ever do. The reason I wanted to start this channel was because I've always been unsure about what I see online. I mean, there's so much content about money, success, business, and freedom, and I never really knew what was real and what wasn't. A lot of it feels polished, like you're only seeing the end result and not how anyone actually got there. I'm not successful and I never have been. I don't have anything impressive to show off. So instead of pretending I'm something I'm not, I thought it made more sense to document where I actually am, trying to become something that I've never been before. And that's why this series is called The Attempt. It's not a promise and it's not a guarantee. It's literally just that. It's an attempt. It's a real honest attempt from a normal lad trying to make something out of his life and see what happens if he actually commits to it. Right now, I'm doing okay. I mean, my head's pretty full, but that's expected. I mean, I feel motivated to start this and get it going, but obviously there's uncertainty there too. I think that's just part of starting anything new, to be honest. I'm not panicking, I'm not pretending everything's perfect. Just being realistic about where I'm at currently. I mean, in terms of what I'm actually trying to build, there are a few things I'm focusing on. The main one right now is reselling, buying, clothes and shoes, cleaning them up, listing them, and then selling them on. It's not glamorous or anything special, but it's just some cash, some real cash to bring in. And it is something that I've already started doing and have been doing for quite a while now. So it gives me a bit of a head start. I will be showing the full process, what I buy, when I edit the photos and the listings, selling them, and any updates on whether I've got any problems going on or if anything sells, to be honest. But obviously I will go over everything, so if something doesn't sell, then I will show that, and if something does sell, then I'll show that. Alongside that, I'm working on content creation, this documentary series, my main YouTube channel, and streaming on Twitch, and then obviously short form content in terms of TikTok, Instagram, just posting my clips, trying to promote my channel and Twitch out there. Not for clout or any attention, but just simply because, content compounds over time if you stay consistent. And at the same time, it also forces me to stay accountable and somewhat structured. Now, there is something that I did want to start learning, but I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to be doing it straight away. It might come down the line, or I might do it straight away. Who knows? But that is day trading and investing, all of that sort of stuff. It's always looked like Morse code to me. It looks like a completely different language. I've never really understood it, but it is something that I would eventually like to hopefully learn and get the grasp of. But as I said, it will take quite some time because it's a lot of learning. It's a lot of it's just a lot in terms of everything. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot to note down in your head, mentally, what to do, what not to do. And also at the same time, you want to be very, very careful as it is a bit of a risk. I've heard a few stories about how day trading is what some people see it as a gamble. But as I said, this is for the future. So I might start doing it straight away or I might not. It's just I'm going to need to learn a bit first. At some point down the line, I want to also start my own streetwear clothing brand. It won't be rushed or hype driven. I'm not going to be following the crowd. I want it to be unique and stand out. Just something clean and very minimal. And obviously, as I said, with the vintage, when that starts, it will be shown properly from start to finish, everything I do. Ideas, budgeting, mistakes, the whole lot of it. One thing I want to be clear about from the start is how honest this series is going to be as well. I'm not going to fake numbers. I'm not going to pretend things are going better than they actually are. And I'm not going to act like an expert when I'm not. If something goes wrong, then you will see it go wrong. And if something works, then I will try my hardest to explain why I think it worked. But essentially, overall, this series is for people who sort of feel stuck in the middle. You don't hate your life. Hate's a very strong word to use, but you don't hate your life, but you don't want to stay exactly where you are now forever, for the rest of your life. People who are trying to figure things out without gambling everything or pretending they've got it all sorted, And I'm doing this publicly because it holds me accountable. It stops me from quitting quietly and turning this into just another idea that never really went anywhere. And most importantly, it just turns the process into something real instead of just thoughts in my head. So if this sounds like a bit of you and you can somewhat relate or want to be what I want to be and what I want to achieve, then this series is 100% going to be for you. I'm not going to sit around and beg you to subscribe to my channel, but just be sure to stick around if you want to learn anything with me along the way. If you are going to try and do it as well, if you want to start, then let me know. Just do it along the way with me. I also want to point out that I have been doing content creation, especially YouTube, for quite a few years now. And this is the first ever time that I am recording in front of a camera. I've always been one of them people that are behind the screen, never show their face. So this is all very new to me. And it's probably why I seem quite awkward and I'm having to read off a script that I had to write out. But I think eventually over time, I'll slowly start to open up a bit more. So obviously, as I said earlier, I want this to be as honest and clean and raw as possible. So you'll be seeing everything, all the emotions, all the hard work, the dedication, what I do wrong, what I do right, what I'm confused on. Just everything is going to be a learning curve for me. So this isn't advice, this is just me trying to make a change. This is episode 1 of the attempt. There's no big conclusion here, just context. So from here on, it's about actually doing the work and seeing what happens. Thank you for watching.